Gavin Dyer will start out of position 1 in the Pro Exceed Corvette. 63H Nigel Moet in the brand new Marty Halcrow built Mustang. Spectacular looking car from outside.
I've got to put you right there. I've got to put you right about Mr. Moet. It's Moet.
He says it. No, I know. I've been saying Moet the whole time. He doesn't actually mind. It is actually Moet.
He's a hell of a nice guy.
Yeah, so I'll just do one each time, I reckon. Moet.
You do Moet, I'll do Moet.
Chardonnay. 53M, Mark Hutchins from row number 2, inside of row 2, out of position 3. 8H, Craig Cardwell, first night feature winner in the Cardwell's Corvette. Another brand new race car out of the Gorge factory over there in New Plymouth. Out of position 4, 76, Carl Hanlon from 5, the Jackson 76, I think it's a Monaro. And speaking of Energizer, they've got some new support from Energizer on that car this season. Kristen Vermeulen in the Crockford Real Estate Corvette from grid position 6. Jared Fletcher from 7 in the Spray Pump Services Corvette. 71, Russell Donovan making his first start back for the season in a newly rebodied car. That's the ex-Graham Logan Trans Am body on the 71 Super Saloon. And completing the lineup, our Cromwell visitor, Paul Wright, all the way from the deep south. Let him go. 3 wide through turns 1 and 2, over onto the back straight. Gavin Dyer is your race leader in the 88. Oh, Cardwell into the fence. Where did that start? That started back in 3. He may not be aware of it, but it's definitely damaged something. And there goes the bonnet anyway.
Yeah, that's a real shame. You know, I was in the pits earlier on and I said to the crew, man, you could eat your dinner off this thing. You really could. Not the case now.
It's raced now.
Yes,
as
it is.
Used.
Second hand.
So we've got Paul Wright there in the back in the 12T Water Bar Monaro from Cromwell in the deep south. Russell Donovan also starting from the back in that newly rebodied 71.
I'm down here with Craig now, mate. I'm so sorry. We're all very, very sorry to see what happened there. You okay?
Yeah, a little pissed off.
Yeah, just a little bit angry. I can understand that. We can hopefully get this thing sorted out and back on the racetrack soon. It's not too bad from what I can see apart from the body damage.
Yeah. Hopefully it's not too bad.
So we go back to green, 12 lap Super Saloons, heat number 1. 700 plus horsepower, absolutely suited for this surface at Baypark Speedway with the size. Watch Carl Hanlon starting to work the top already. He's just about gone around. Just as I said to watch him. But Gavin Dyer out in front in the Pro X Chassis 88, chased by Mark Hutchins. From just down the road at Waihi, go back to Nigel Moet in the 63 Halcrow built Mustang. Kristen Vermeulen, Carl Hanlon. Right, we've got some lap scoring up now. So current lap record is 16:07, set by Brent Emerson here last year, and we're already into the 16:1, 16:19 for Mark Hutchins. So he is flying. Here's Hanlon down the inside, had to get on the brakes, did Kristen Vermeulen. Hanlon up into the 4th position. So a 16:19, just a 10th off lap record pace. Gavin Dyer working the middle of the racetrack. Hutchins some more on the bottom. Didn't get the greatest run that time out of turn number 2 onto the back straight. Moet trying to hold off Carl Hanlon. Carl Hanlon, one of the most spectacular drivers here at Baypark in any of the classes. He's got an inside run, trying to get it to stick down into turn 1. No. Moet covers it in the 63. Here comes Hanlon up the inside as Hutchins goes to work on Gavin Dyer. 16:26 for Hutchins on that last lap. He's got a good race car there at the moment, but Dyer's got the track position as Hanlon clears the 63H. Kristen Vermeulen now starting to close up onto the back of the Mustang. Go back to Jared Fletcher, Russell Donovan and Paul Wright, his first ever time at Baypark Speedway in the Water Bar Monaro. But it's Dyer now getting away from Hutchins. Hutchins lost a little bit of time on that last lap. 5 laps left to go here. Heat 1 for the Super Saloons. Lap traffic coming up. Dyer doesn't want to get parked on the bottom. In behind our Cromwell visit, he's going to slip to the inside, clears him. Down into turn number 3. Hutchins has to go around the outside. Just got balked there for a moment, just hesitated, maybe should have gone to the inside. Easy for me to say up in the commentary box. I'm not driving the things. But good, clean, close racing at the moment. Hanlon starting to make some gains on Hutchins. Hanlon is the fastest driver out there at the moment. 16.4 last lap. 2 laps left to go. Dyer looking for his first win of the season in the 88M Pro X chassis Corvette. Hutt comes back at him with a slightly faster lap. Hanlon lost a little bit of time just getting around the 12T. As we'll get the white flag. Gavin Dyer, 1 to go in the 88. With about 0.8 of a second advantage over lap traffic for the leader right in the final sequence of corners. Checkered flag about to come out. It'll be 88, 53, 76 Carl Hanlon. Go back to the 63H Nigel Moat, 12 Kristen Vermeulen. Battling behind them for the minors, it'll be the 8 of Jared Fletcher, the 71 of Russell Donovan, first night back for the new season, and the 12T of Paul Wright will complete the lineup. DNF for the first night feature winner, Craig Cardwell in the 8H.
Hanlon starting from the inside of row 2. Oh God, here we go. That was my foot. Whoa, that was close. That was close. So yeah, Mr. Hanlon, of course, known for his spectacular sideways driving. Of course, we were talking in the pits earlier on with him and his crew, and that's the way he likes it, they said. So Cardwell, though, on the outside. Doesn't matter whether it's the second row or not. I'm sure by the time they get down to the front chute here, he'll be right up alongside young Jared.
All right, we go in green. Heat number 2, Gavin Dyer won the first heat from Mark Hutchins with Carl Hanlon in third. They're stacking up through 1 and 2. Vermeulen drives around the outside of Fletcher to get the lead. Look at Cardwell winding up down the back straight in the Cardwell's Corvette. It might be Ford powered, but it's got some stout horsepower underneath. Just looks a little bit beaten up in the front end with the panels, just the fiberglass panels, so the aero won't be fantastic. But into second, he drives around Fletcher, goes Craig Cardwell, Kristen Vermeulen. Hanlon shuts down on the back straight. Slides through to the infield, Carl Hanlon. So some form of problem there, as Mark Hutchins also goes gardening down there through 3 and 4. Dyer with an impressive pass. That was an aggressive pass down the inside of Fletcher. Through to third goes the 88. Hypermac chassis leads with Kristen Vermeulen, former 1NZ car from 2 years ago. Cardwell slots into second in that brand new Gorge. Then it's the Pro X in third with Gavin Dyer as Cardwell trying to get the inside to stick off 2 side by side down the back. Vermeulen on the outside. Craig looks to be a little bit better on the inside. Here comes Russell Donovan to the outside of Jared Fletcher, looking to fourth. That newly bodied Total Oils Trans Am. Dyer clears Vermeulen into second. Dyer is the fastest on track at the moment. 17.505 on the last lap from Gavin Dyer in the 86. As Dyer gets it done, no, Craig Cardwell drives back around the 88. Dyer on the inside, Cardwell on the top. He's going to try and get that top groove to work. Dyer looks to be a little bit better on the bottom. Geez, that car changes direction nicely. You just see the transition. Out of 4, he just changed the direction ever so slightly and it just hooked up and drove off the corner.
Look at Donovan. Here comes Donovan, mate.
Where's he come from? Russell Donovan. Now he would have started, he started at the back. I think he chose to start rear of field.
Mate, he's got the setup exactly right.
More of a late model style setup with not a lot of stagger across the rear end of that race car, but he is flying. A 17.4, the fastest lap of the race from the 71, and he started the back as Cardwell now just starts to back up. Dyer looks to be a little bit better. He's now parked right in the middle of the racetrack. Donovan's trying to get the bottom to work with 4 laps left to go. Cardwell third, back to Fletcher, Vermeulen, Nigel Moat, Mark Hutchins in the 53 and the 12T of Paul Wright all the way out of Cromwell. Donovan, Dyer backed it in hard into 1. I thought he was going around and Donovan just stayed parked there on the bottom as Jared Fletcher's had a problem at the other end of the racetrack. That dropped him out of, I think, about the 4th or 5th position. Rejoins just in front of the leaders. 2 laps to go. Dyer again, very, very good in the middle. He's getting that car hooked up off the exits, but so's Donovan. Yellows, Mark Hutchins spins down in 3 and 4.
We've got a pretty unhappy looking Carl Handel here. Carl, you usually really enjoy your driving. What's the show tonight?
I think it might have a loose wheel.
A loose wheel.
All right, back to green. Dyer fell asleep off that restart. 2 laps to go. They'll take the white flag this time around. Donovan got the jump. Did he jump it? I'm not too sure. We'll have to wait for the call on that, but certainly looked like Dyer may have been just a little bit asleep off that restart. Here comes Craig Cardwell. White flag. Some great Super Saloon racing. Looking forward to the likes of Brent Emerson and Dean Waddell coming back to play with these guys, and hopefully the first appearance of Ben Harding a little bit later on in the season, who just dominates this place usually. But heat number 2, it's going to go to Donovan, Dyer, Cardwell. Go back to, I think, Christian Vermeulen just on the line from Moet. 71, 88, 8H12, 63H8, 53, and the 12T. Now, they may have just made that call. They've given the checkered flag to Gavin Dyer, so they must have penalised Russell Donovan for that restart.
Look, I tell you what, I was just about to say, the Russell Donovan will be grinning, and he's the opposite of grinning right now. I was talking to his one of his crew members earlier on tonight, and he was saying that they were hoping for good things tonight. I thought it had just come true. You too? Oh, look at that.
The Shelby Mustang.
Man, that looks hot.
That is a cool looking car. Good to see Emo back. I think former 2-time national champion.
Correct.
Current track record holder here at Baypark Speedway at a 16:07 set back here last season during the Super Saloon series round.
He was a hot shot on 2 wheels in his earlier days, and he's certainly carried that on. The first time I ever met the guy, I stuck a microphone under his nose while he was upside down at Timaru Speedway in Wellington.
Yep, that's a goat story.
Absolutely.
I've got some stories I can't repeat. All right, 20 laps, Super Saloon feature. I was going to say, can Brent Emerson win from the back? But I think he's probably just running the thing in. But hey, knowing Goat, he'll just stand on the gas nevertheless. Can Craig Cardwell win 2 in a row? Who could be the spoiler? Gavin Dyer's had a pretty strong night so far in the 88. Won both the first 2 heats. Track a lot different to what it was earlier on. It's a little bit slicker now, especially off the back of the sprint car main, with the 900 plus horsepower monsters just blowing the surface right off. So that's the latest Lovelady creation to come out of Christchurch from John's shop, and Brent Emerson. Oh, he's definitely not running it in, mate. He's just finding his feet, and he'll get into this. Hutchins and Cardwell get together. Oh, Fletcher right around in front of Hutchins, who managed to miss him, but only just. Oh, Emo just about collected the 12T. He spun the 7M up. Tricky track conditions, but there's nothing wrong with the track. Just to think a few of these boys might not have just set the cars up well enough. Donovan's all over Dyer. This is the battle from the second heat where Donovan jumped the restart and got penalised a position. But Donovan's got a very, very good race car on the top. He drives around Dyer. Fletcher goes around again in the Spray Pump Services Corvette. So tricky track conditions. The track has slicked off, but you've got to drive to the conditions. Nigel Moet in the 3rd spot in the Has Haulage Valvoline Mustang. Cardwell and Vermeulen side by side for 4th. I think Cardwell had an engine problem on opening night. I think they're back to their a backup engine in that car, I think was the word I got a little bit earlier on. Mark Hutchins in that 6th position. Go back to the 12T of Paul Wright, Fletcher and Brent Emerson. Emerson just his first laps out. He's gone from a Chevy Camaro with Chev power to a Ford Mustang with Ford power. He did run the Lovelady house car out of Christchurch there for a few nights last season, in between travelling back and forth, basing the 7M out of Baypark Speedway. But Donovan now in the lead. First night back, looking for the win. Big puff of smoke there from Brent Emerson at the tail of the field. Just didn't stop him pulling a big slider on Jared Fletcher though. Definitely some smoke from the back of the 7M. But Russell Donovan doing the job. New body, same chassis. Again, going with that slightly different configuration with the late model setup. So he's not running as big a right rear tyre on the right-hand side of the 71M, Grant.
Yeah, Jamie, there's a distinct loudness about the car, the number 7 car. I think the muffler has come off.
Yeah, that is definitely noisy. I heard that from 4 stories up.
Yeah, mate. I tell you what, wouldn't it be great to have that full time?
Yeah, ain't going to happen, unfortunately. As much as we'd love it to, mate, you want to hear 14 unmuffled sprint cars run.
Oh, I cannot wait.
Oh, yeah, well, it'll never happen here, unfortunately. So Emo's going to pull to the infield, obviously. But Russell Donovan doing the job out in front. Dyer, Moat, so we've got a bit of a home-built. I don't know if the Cowlings have had an input in this car with Russell Donovan, but certainly the Pro X in second with Gavin Dyer, who's trying to get a run back on Donovan. Geez, did Donovan lose power there for a moment? It looked like it into turn 3, and then you got the Halcrow chassis of Nigel Moat in that 3rd position. Second night out at Baypark for the Huntley registered driver. Still Hutchins and Cardwell going at it. Looks like Hutchins has set fire to the right side of his car at some stage during the night, because it looks like the whole right half of the right-hand side of the body panels of the 53 is actually burnt right where the exhaust exits. Yeah, I think they might have had a fire maybe in the pits there during the night. Dyer back in the front. He got the pass on Donovan. Good race out in front. 8 laps left to go. So Dyer looking for feature win number 1 for the season. Donovan first night back looking for his first feature win of the season. Moat back there in 3rd. Hutchins, Cardwell, Kristen Vermeulen and Paul Wright, the 2 12s. Paul Wright getting more confidence around this place, still side by side, and Kristen used to drive that car a couple of seasons ago before she stepped up to the Hypermac, the X1NZ Shane McIntyre Hypermac from 2 seasons ago. But Dyer now starting to drive away from Donovan. I don't know if you can hear anything down there, Moff. Is Donovan's thing maybe just gone off a little bit?
No, look, I don't actually know, mate. I don't think it has. I think it's just basically trying to get all that power down, mate. Yeah, you take the slightest wrong line here and you lose traction and off goes the guy in front of you. Yeah,
so Gavin Dyer out in front. Russell Donovan with the different setup in the car, also running a carburetted engine instead of the fuel injection we see with so many of these cars. Just looking for more low-down grunt. But Gavin Dyer's got a beautiful race car. Couple of laps left to go. 1 to go next time by for Dyer. And Moff, you might know better than me. I don't. Has Dyer won a feature here at Baypark?
Yeah, he has, mate.
He has gone back?
He did. He won a feature last year, in fact.
And that new car, Fletcher spins off into the infield again. White flag out. It will be Gavin Dyer's night in the Pro X chassis 88. He had to go by Russell Donovan to do it. It was a good fight, but Dyer's done the job. Last feature winner tonight, Donovan second. Nigel Moat third in the Has Haulage Valvoline 63H. Mark Hutchins next. Go back to Craig Cardwell. The 12T of Paul Wright, all the way from Cromwell. The 12M of Kristen Vermeulen. And that's how they finish for the Super Saloon feature.